What is going on? Today I'm going to teach you something that most fitness people don't even talk about. When it comes to losing fat, so many people think that it's just about a calorie deficit. While that is true to some degree, you have to understand that you also have to focus on your metabolism. If you don't know who I am, my name is Francis. We've helped over 1,400 people in the aesthetic dream get to their dream body without restrictive dieting and through science-based coaching. Today, I'm going to teach you how my client Vincent lost over 30 pounds while eating more food, or my client Lucia, who's able to lose over 40 pounds and got shredded while eating more food. And even my client Eddie, who lost over 120 pounds eating 3 times more food compared to when he was 120 pounds over. So whether you're trying to lose fat, gain muscle, or just trying to speed up your metabolism and want to learn the how, this video is for you. Let's go ahead and get started. What is going on? Welcome to the lesson on how to eat more food to lose fat. So many people, they have this big misunderstanding that you always have to think about, calorie deficit. While it is obviously important to have a calorie deficit for you to be able to lose fat, you need to take in consideration of your actual body's metabolism. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, how to use diet breaks and how to reverse diet for you to be able to eat more food while losing fat in the process. Let's go ahead and get this started. This is my client, Vincent. If you look at the picture on the left, this was him when he first started, came to me. As you can see, he was eating 2,500 calories right here, and body fat's still high, and he was still about 40 pounds over compared to the picture on the right. If you look at the picture on the right, after the reverse diet, he was able to get to 2,900 calories, right? So he's eating more food, and he's 40 pounds down, right? So many people, they don't understand how that can actually happen. And that's only because of your metabolism, right? You need to be able to know how to put in work for your metabolism so you have a higher metabolic rate, right? When you have a higher metabolic rate, you're able to eat more food while losing fat in the process as well. And, at the end result, as you can see, a lot leaner. He has visible abs. He's, literally shredded, right? If you compare it to the left. Another example for a straight up weight loss client. This is my client Eddie. He was eating about 1,200 calories on the left, and now he's eating about 3,600 calories on the right. That's literally triple of how he used to eat. One thing I want you to understand when it comes to calories, right? He lost some weight by himself in the past. This is the first picture on the left, if you can see it. This is when he first came to me. He told me that he didn't know how to lose even more fat. He lost about 15, 20 pounds by himself. He was doing a lot of cardio. He was doing a lot of cardio actually, and he was barely eating any food. This put him in the cycle of binging. He barely eating anything for the whole week, and then binges a little bit on the weekend. And that's what happens when you undereat way too much of your calories. On the picture on the right, this was about a year and a half later. He lost 120 pounds, over 120 pounds, and he's eating 3,600 calories. That is an absolutely crazy difference, right? So he's literally eating 3 times more and he lost over 120 pounds. How can this actually happen? When it comes to thinking about your progress in general, you have to think about your entire fitness journey in general. There's 3 stages of body composition. Number 1 is gaining or bulking, right? As most of you guys are familiar with, this is a process of eating in the caloric surplus in order to gain muscle mass. Number 2 is the fat loss phase, right? The process of eating in the caloric deficit in order to lose body fat. So most of you guys listening to this, you're probably in this stage right now, right? You want to be able to lose fat. You don't know how do maybe you hit a plateau. Maybe that's where you're at right now. Reverse dieting, strategic eating plan that involves gradually increasing your calories over a few weeks or months to allow you to eat more food after a dieting phase while also increasing your metabolic rates and limiting fat gain. When it comes to your reverse diet, so many people, they actually don't know how to do this. They end up putting more calories than they need to, and they end up gaining fat as well. The reverse dieting phase is where we really focus on specifically only keeping your body the same, or maybe even you might lose a little bit of fat in the beginning of the reverse dieting phase. And then with the reverse dieting phase, your metabolic rate is actually going to speed up. So that means your metabolism will speed up and heal, right, through this process as well, while your weight and your body composition stays the same. Give you an example for me, I have been on this fitness journey for about 9 years now. I've went through a lot of bulking, a lot of cutting, a lot of reverse dieting, and throughout my last bulk, I was eating 600 grams of carbs on a day-to-day basis, right? And I had visible abs, but that wasn't always possible. The reason why that wasn't always possible is because I haven't put in the work for my metabolism yet. That's why usually within 6 months to a year, when a client comes to the Aesthetic Dream in our coaching program, they end up eating more food while losing fat in the process as well, like the 2 examples I gave you. What is reverse dieting? Reverse dieting is the process in which you slowly increase calories on a week-to-week basis until you are back up to eating at maintenance. Reverse dieting is typically used after someone's extremely lean and has been dieting for a long period of time. If you see bodybuilders, for example, after their show, the process that they have to go through, that way they keep the results after, and they actually keep the body composition, maybe not as lean, but they're going to still keep the leanness after their show, is they go through the reverse dieting, right? If you don't go through the reverse dieting, I would see bodybuilders that don't do or take the reverse dieting seriously. What tends to happen is they will gain about 20, 30 pounds literally within a week or two after their show. So how do you gain 20, 30 pounds right after you do your bodybuilding show? It doesn't make sense, right? And that's because your metabolism has adapted to those low calories. When your metabolism has adapted to those low calories and you don't give it time to actually adapt as you go up, right, slowly, what's going to happen is your body's literally going to hold on to every single ounce of water weight, body fats, calories that you eat, right? And what will happen is you're actually going to gain a lot more fat in the long run. That's why it's really important that whether you're somebody who has been under eating for a very long time, maybe you try to diet on your own, you're not doing it correctly. Maybe you're eating anywhere from like 700 calories to 1200 calories a day, and that's where your calories are at this stage, you probably need to reverse diet. Same thing if you are a bodybuilder, you got really lean for your show, and after your show, you have no plan to reverse diet. That's how people end up gaining all the way back. So it's really, really important that you understand this phase, because without it, think about this as more of a bridge, right? So you have your cut right here, to the camera. You have your bulk right here. In order for you to bridge that cut and bulk, for you to actually stay lean, you got to go through the reverse dieting phase in the middle, right? If you don't go through that, you will end up gaining so much fat, unnecessary fat, then you should have it. Give you an example right here. If you're somebody who's been yo-yo dieting in the past, right? You are somebody who did keto, any of these like crazy yo-yo diets that you see on the internet where it's like no carbs, whatever, right? This is the way it works. Calories is going to be the dots, metabolic rate is going to be the blue, and the weight is going to be the red. Caloric intake. First you go down. You're like, okay, let me just try to lose fat. And then what tends to happen is you have lowered the calories way too low, way too quick. Well, while it might feel good because you've lost it fast right here, just like, the weight went down, metabolic rate went down, you end up binging because it was way too low. It was way too low. And when you're under eating, this is what usually happens. This is why people can't stop snacking. This is why people can't stop binging, is because their calories are way too low, right? Caloric intake goes up, metabolic rate goes up, and also your weight goes up as well. Your weight goes up. If you notice right here from the beginning, it actually went up higher than how you were before. This is why I see so many stories of even past clients who maybe did yo-yo dieting before they joined the program. What ended up happening was they lost the weight, they gained it back, and they gained even more. And then you are on the cycle of just, okay, you know what, let me take this seriously again, let me drop the calories even lower. Then your metabolism slows down, and then you end up binging again. And then if you look at it right here, your metabolic rate is even lower compared to the beginning, but your weight is even higher and your calories all stay the same. So this is the cycle of yo-yo dieting. This is how it usually works. You always are on this never-ending cycle of losing the fat, getting it back, because you don't know what you're doing, essentially. Reverse dieting, if you look at it right here, the caloric intake goes down, you cut down, the weight also goes down. And then if you look at the weight, it stays down here, right? Maybe you might have a little bit of 1 pound fluctuation, you lose the weight again, and then 1 pound. So you're still going to be around the same weight. Your caloric intake goes up super high, higher than even before, and your metabolic rate also stays up with this. So your metabolism, if you compare this, is all the way up. It's the blue. And if you look at the caloric intake on the right, it goes all the way up with the metabolism, and then your weight goes down. This is how Vincent was able to eat more food while losing fat. This is how Eddie was able to, and so many of our hundreds of other clients in the Aesthetic Dream, the process that we went through for them to be able to get there. What's the benefits of doing a reverse diet? Doing a proper reverse diet will heal your metabolism, improve your hormone function, increase energy, and you will have better workouts. The pumps are absolutely amazing. I'll tell you this right now, when you're in the reverse diet, your muscles look so much bigger. They look fuller because also of the insulin resistance in your body. Insulin resistance is basically your body's ability to be able to shuttle all those carbs and nutrients into your muscles. So you're actually using those carbs for good, right? It's not staying in your system. It's not going to, be taken as fats, right? Your body will literally shuttle all those carbs to your muscles so that when you go to the gym, you're actually using those carbs to good use for training. When you're very lean and do not do a reverse diet, you can end up gaining a lot of unnecessary weight and body fat and throw your whole body out of whack. Diet breaks. This is something that we use with a lot of our weight loss clients, right? A diet break is a certain period of time where you just eat at your caloric maintenance. Yes, the scale can go up slightly during this phase. However, you will not be gaining body fat. If you look at this, I'm gonna have a few examples, but this is how it looks right here. Diets, you diet, let's say this was for 6 weeks, and then you do a break. The diet break, on the other hand, it's not just eating whatever you want, and it's just a cheat week. No, that's not how it works, right? Let's say you do 6 weeks dieting, 1 week off. What that's gonna look like is gonna be still eating the same types of foods, but with higher amounts. right? So let's say I have you on the meal plan at 100 grams of rice, very, very low at this point because you're cutting. And then during this diet break, you know what? I give you 250 grams of rice instead of 100. So you're still going to be eating the same types of foods, very, very clean. This is not an excuse of eating pizzas and burgers and all these things, because all that's going to do is higher the cortisol in your body. It's going to be harder for you to lose fat when you have high cortisol. The goal is to lower the cortisol, lower the stress hormone in your body. That's what that does when you're eating real clean food, still on the diet break, higher calories, still eating the same foods, and then you drop more, and do another diet break, and then you drop more. Here's another example. You diet on up here, and then you do a diet break. Diet on, and do a diet break. Diet on, do a diet break. And then from there, you do this enough times, obviously in a strategic way, doing it with a coach, somebody who knows what they're doing. You're going to end up gaining a lot more muscle, losing a lot more fat, and eating a lot more food in the long run as well, right? Which is obviously always good. Another example with the calories, I wanted to give this example. 4 weeks on, let's say this is a 4 weeks on, 1 week off diet break. 1,700 calories for the diet. You do a diet break at 2,300 calories. Let's say that you were a girl and this was your maintenance. And then you do another diet break for 4 weeks. You do another dieting phase for 4 weeks, and then you do another diet break after that, right? So this is basically how it would look like. Obviously, this is an oversimplified version. There's not going to be a set in stone structure when it comes to every single person, but it really depends on the person. This is why in the Aesthetic Dream, we ask for every single metric, each and every single one of our clients, right? So what do I mean by that? I want the progress pictures. I want your stress levels. Let me know. How did you sleep? How were your steps, right? How's your weight? It's not only about the weight, it's about every single thing, right? That's how we know as coaches to be able to make changes on your programs. That way the results don't slow down, right? And this is why our success rate is so high, is because we ask for every single biofeedback that we need to as coaches for you to be able to make that incredible transformation with no plateaus. What are the benefits of taking a diet break? Taking a diet break will help you retain your hard-earned muscle, help you lose more body fat in the long run, and help you sustain your results. It is also a very refreshing psychological to take a break from eating in the caloric deficit to be able to eat more food. Obviously, the psychological benefit is you're eating more food, you feel better, especially when you've been dieting for a very long time. There's so many benefits when it comes to your diet break. It also helps speed up your metabolism, so that way your body doesn't adapt that fast, because again, you have to remember your body is an adaptation machine. Your body wants to stay the same, essentially, homeostasis, right? That's what your body wants to do. It wants to stay comfortable. So us as coaches, what we do with our clients is we try to outsmart your body. Obviously, a deficit, even taking the diet breaks. On top of that, the reverse dieting. That way, you're able to get to your dream body, and we try to outsmart your body and your metabolism by doing that. It goes down to a science. That's all it is, right? The leaner you get, the more diet breaks you might have to take compared to somebody who is obese. If you are already overweight, you probably don't need to take a diet break as frequently as somebody who's already lean, because your body has more fat to use as fuel. It might also be a good idea to take a diet break if you are going on vacation and want to enjoy more food. This last part, I like saying this just because, let me just give an example, make it a lot easier for you guys. Let's say somebody's been dieting for 8 weeks straight, and then you have a vacation in between that. And let's say I was planning to do a diet break maybe 7 weeks out instead of 8. So since your vacation's gonna be out that week, let's just do the diet break at that week. It's a lot easier. It doesn't mean, me putting this on here doesn't mean, oh, every time I'm on vacation, it's a diet break. No, that's not what that means. It has to be in a strategic way, because if you do this wrong, I'm telling you right now, you will gain 5-10 pounds of fat if you do the diet break wrong at the wrong time. Very, very important that you know that. So I just wanted to point that out before you guys get the wrong idea from that last slide. Main thing about this lesson I wanted you guys to really understand is, number one, when it comes to your transformation, it's not only about taking off calories, because if this is all you're focused on, I will tell you this right now, you'll end up eating just an almond or an apple a day, right? And you're still not losing fat. So it's really important that you know that your metabolism also plays a part. For people who need healing in their metabolism, we usually put them through a diet break or a reverse diet first. We can slowly increase the calories, slowly decrease the stress, slowly decrease the cardio for their body to actually have lower cortisol, and then we can focus on actually losing fat. The thing about this is, one thing I want you guys to understand is, with the Aesthetic Dream, obviously we have hundreds of results, right? Our success rate is very high because obviously the coaches on here are very, very knowledgeable. I want you to understand that when it comes to your transformation journey, you can either do it by yourself or you can do it with somebody else. Obviously a knowledgeable coach that can help you get there. Doing it by yourself is pretty high risk, right? The reason why I say that is because there's only money and time, right? You can either invest your money and take care of that time. You don't have to worry about that time. You're gonna get there as fast as possible. Obviously, if you have a knowledgeable coach, or you can just do it by yourself. And then with the time, obviously, it doesn't promise you that you're actually gonna get there. You might actually fall off. You might do the wrong things and waste years of your life doing this. Every single one of our clients are successful in the Aesthetic Dream, and it's so much easier, obviously, when you have somebody else there. But obviously, I give all this information for free for you guys. So if this is something you can take action on, take action on. But the sad thing is, so many people who do that, they end up doing it the wrong way, because at the end of the day, you have to know what to be able to do when you hit a plateau, which most people do. If you guys are interested, if you want a free blueprint to your dream body, give you step-by-step exactly on how we give the transformation, how everybody is transforming in the aesthetic dream, I can send that to you completely for free. All you have to do is DM me the word free on Instagram. That's all you literally have to do. DM me the word free and I will send you that blueprint completely for free. Other than that, if you guys have any questions in general, Instagram is always open. I'm more than happy to talk to you guys, but let's absolutely kill it. I'll see you guys later.